Dillian Whyte caught up with talkSPORT's boxing correspondent Spencer Oliver earlier today. Spoke on his opponent this weekend, Moses Itauma.
Listen, in their eyes, he's a killer. He's God. I'm nothing. I'm just cannon fodder. So yeah.
You've been face to face with Moses just recently. You know this game inside out, and you know about fight weeks and you know the way that people are. What did you see in him?
Nothing. I don't really focus on that. I just focus on just doing my job, and that's it. We spoke, said whatever we're gonna say, and that's it. I don't really it's hard to really focus a lot on focus on this and focus on that, and try and pick up, because people sometimes can be misleading in their persona and their body language and what they say and who they are. You know what I'm saying? People can act nervous or act scared when they're not. People can throw you off with. So I don't really focus on that. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of talk about this kid being the next heavyweight superstar. You know, he's been blowing everyone away. You know, what do you make? Just how good do you think he is?
You guys are the expert. You guys say how good he is, and you guys are the expert. I leave that up to you guys. You know.
I'd quite like to know how good he was if I was about to get in the ring with him. Let's talk to Mark Tibbs. Joins us in the studio. Former boxer, respected trainer, worked with Dillian Whyte amongst others. How are you, Mark?
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
No, pleasure. And you've just done talkSPORT boxing on YouTube,
Yes.
so people can see that on the talkSPORT YouTube channel. Just when we came on air, you were like, you've got a signed Scott Minto shirt in your gym.
No gravy on it.
Couldn't you get a better player than that?
My son's a big West Ham fan, and I don't know how your shirts come in my gym, but I've got it framed.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Where's the gym?
It's in Rainham in Essex, called the Origin Gym. Yeah.
As you
I'd
walk
love
in,
to come down one time.
As you walk in, is it right there, or is it sort of in the toilet?
It's in the boxing area, believe it or not, but it's up on it's up above on the wall.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
Have
there.
some of that.
Okay, I'm very impressed.
On Monday when I'm back to work, I want to tweet it to you guys.
Oh, great. What did you make of that interview with? You must know Dillian incredibly well. What did you make of that interview? That he has got an interesting character to interview, interesting guy.
Well, I get Dillian. He's a real fighting man. And none of this build-up, razzmatazz will move him. He's a real fighting man, and he's a man of experience. He fighting terms, he's wise, yeah. But it's a difficult task against Moses Itauma. But real fighting men don't let this build up, and people asked him, "What do you expect of him?" etc. He's a real fighting guy. He's a real fighting guy, and he wants to go and do his job. And I get it. But he's got a difficult job.
So does he hate all the showbiz, all the stuff that I actually find quite frustrating in boxing? Does he hate all of that?
No, listen, he wouldn't hate the jobs, what you've got to do in that. He wouldn't hate it. It's just he's seen it before. He's seen it all before, and he's probably just staying in the zone and wants to keep in the zone and stay focused and not let anything get to him.
He's 37 now, I think, and he has seen it, been there, done it. Where is he in terms of the level he's at and been at in terms of career, and how big a fight is this with Moses Itauma?
This is a massive fight for Dillian. He's been at the top. He's been interim world champion before, and he's mixed with the top guys up there, and he's handled himself with them guys. I was around him for 11 unbeaten fights, and as I say, world interim champion #1. But I think there's a little bit of wear and tear. Only I'm not judging him, but I ain't seen him or been around him for since the Marius Wack fight. But I can only assume because I'm a trainer and I know people in the boxing game and how they bloody well feel, etc. But I'd be very, very surprised if I'd love to see a fresh Dillian Whyte on Saturday night. I'd love to see a fresh Dillian Whyte, because he's certainly got a fresh young lion in Moses Itauma.
Just before we come on to him, because we saw Spencer saying and heard Spencer saying is the next biggest thing. What's he like to train, Dillian? And during a fight as well, does he take instructions on board?
Absolutely. Dillian Whyte, yeah, was a phenomenal trainer. If anything, could have overdone it a little bit, you know, but man knew what he wanted. Knew what he wanted. He's an incredible trainer. Hard man. Very, very hard, disciplined guy that studies the game. Yeah.
How we talk a lot about football and about managers and, you know, man management and dealing with different players differently. And actually, if you think about boxing, that relationship between you and a fighter must be so intense. And I guess the skill, or you tell me, the hardest bit is what? Is judging that individual and what they need and how far you can push them on any given day?
Well, we worked really, really close for many years. When I mean close, probably me and him in a gym up in Loughborough, just outside of Loughborough, actually, before we moved into the university itself. You know, I started off with Dillian straight after the Anthony Joshua fight, you know, straight after that, when Anthony Joshua defeated Dillian, I got the job of training Dillian, and we worked at my gym at that time in West Ham, in Plaistow, behind Plaistow Station. Yeah, we started off there, but we had a few fights. I forget, can't remember who we fought now. We won the British title, a couple of intercontinental titles before we moved on to interim world #1. But we worked close together in this old gym. Yeah, it wasn't even a gym. It was a bloody MOT garage.
Great.
But we made it.
What we want. Okay. Tyres everywhere.
Rocky stuff, isn't it?
Tyres, it was bloody bad for your health, trust me. It was a spray yard. I could smell it. But we had a good few fights in that place. And when he I believe it was Lucas Brown, he dealt with Lucas Brown in incredible fashion at the O2. He put himself on another platform, pay-per-view, and then the university was only too pleased to have us in the university. We had a gym there. We had some good performances there. And no, but he's fantastic to work with, Dillian. Yeah,
Sure. And like, if you look, is it very similar training any individual boxer, or does it massively make such a difference on who they are?
Well, listen, they're all very, very different. Their brains think different. They have, you have to bespoke every individual, you know, and that's how you get the best out of them. You can't chuck them all in the same, otherwise they all look the same. You know, some are better things than others. Some you've got to give a bit more attention to a certain area, whether it's mentally or physically, you know, and that's how you get the best out of them and get them to be the best of them they can be.
Tell us about Moses Itauma then, and how I suggest, even though you've got a relationship with Dillian, you're thinking that Itauma will win this one, and how good could he be, and how quickly?
Yeah, I believe Moses is a phenomenal talent. He's very different. I've only met him a couple of times, but he's a very interesting guy, very, very relaxed, calm, very sure without being cocky, and that's what you like in fighters. But I'm very talented, very balanced, got a good eye, good readability about him, if that makes sense. It's a great fight for him against Dillian, and you know, both ways. As I said before, you know, Dillian can put him back put him back in amongst the big stuff, and that's probably what gives Dillian the motivation. But Moses needs fighters like this. He needs to be pressed in areas mentally, physically. I'm hoping Dillian can do that. I believe Moses will be victorious. For sure.
Mark, it's fascinating. Thank you so much for coming in. We could talk for much longer, but we're not allowed to. But thanks for coming in. Thanks for doing talkSPORT boxing as well on YouTube.
And thank you for keeping my shirt up.
Thank you both. Thank you
as well.
Thank you.
We'll see if we can find a better shirt. If you just walk around, someone who played more times for England.
I'll have a word with
Quick
well.
selfie, because my son is a West Ham.
If you have a selfie with Scott Minto, I'll tell you this: the talkSPORT boxing YouTube channel has now surpassed 250,000 subscribers. Latest milestone ahead comes ahead of that fight between Itauma and Dillian Whyte. Head over to talkSPORT YouTube. Cheers, Mark. Thanks for coming in. Right now, hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the exclusive content.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.